and the components used to make bombs. Lee Cowan explains what touched off a terrorist alert today.
Just days before the anniversary of the government assault on the Branch Davidian compound in Waco, Texas, comes an ominous warning from the FBI. A nationwide alert and terrorist threat advisory, all for a U-Haul rental truck that may be carrying a bomb. Police in the small Texas town of Haltom City say that two white men filled up large containers of diesel fuel, then loaded it onto a truck. Also inside that truck, road flares, wire, a generator, and ammonium nitrate fertilizer. All ingredients for a bomb, possibly as big as the one used in Oklahoma City.
The concern is that fertilizer was brought in. It was questioned somewhat during the initial investigation. This department can't confirm that there was fertilizer or any other type of substance in that truck. What we know, this is the concern. Again, FBI and ATF, again, are looking into this and have been very busy with it since Saturday.
Late Monday, the FBI released this picture of one possible suspect. The man in his mid-50s had slicked back gray hair. Meanwhile, the FBI says they're checking out a call from a woman who says the driver of that truck is her husband, and the only thing he has inside that truck is cleaning supplies. While investigators say the call does appear to be credible, they say the search continues. Lee Cowan, CBS News, New York.
Visitors to the Empire State Building will now have to walk through metal detectors after last night's shooting spree that left two people, including the gunman, dead. Unchallenged, a 69-year-old Palestinian bought a ticket and rode the elevator up to the 86th floor. Firing indiscriminately, he shot 6 people before shooting himself.
And when I got to the east side of the Empire State Building, I saw all these bodies laying on the floor. And one man was bleeding profusely from the right side of his head.
I started shooting everybody. Bang, 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 bang.
In Gaza City, the gunman's family tried to make sense of the shooting. He was apparently distraught over losing his life savings.
He's deceased from Americans. They took his money. Maybe he can't return them back. We don't know until now.
He bought the semi-automatic pistol at this Florida pawn shop shortly after his arrival in the country without even an address, just a motel room. It was so simple it has New York City officials outraged.
He just shows up in Florida, gets a residence in a motel, walks in and walks out with a gun that could kill 14 people in 3 or 4 seconds. That's just absurd. I mean, that makes no sense.
The top floors of the landmark were dimmed tonight in memory of the people who were attacked. The owners of the Empire State Building say they will now install metal detectors and search everyone's bags, something they had done several years ago, but stopped after complaints from visitors that it made the lines too long. Bomb experts in Atlanta are searching for evidence after the city's 3rd bombing incident in the past 7 months, this time at a gay and lesbian nightclub.
I don't think there's any doubt that this is an urban terrorist, and why they have targeted Atlanta, which is known for its tolerance and diversity, is hard to understand.
The latest bomb went off Friday night. 5 people were injured, 1 seriously. Soon after the blast, authorities discovered a second bomb which police detonated. Late today, a group calling itself the Army of God claimed responsibility for the bombing. And not just this one, but the bombing last month at an abortion clinic. Like the abortion clinic incident, there were 2 bombs involved at the nightclub. In both bombings, the devices included similar wiring, timing devices, and type of dynamite.
Or a copycat bomber. Whoever it is, we've got to find them and get them off the streets fairly quickly.
There are also similarities with last summer's Olympic Park explosion. Sources tell CBS News the shrapnel used in nightclub and abortion clinic bombs was similar to that used in the Olympic blast. There have been no arrests in any of the cases, and authorities admit they are not even familiar with the group claiming responsibility. 1 year ago today, Cuban MiG jets downed the American private planes that were flying near Cuban airspace. About 500 people gathered in Miami today to honor the 4 Brothers to the Rescue members killed in the attack. The organization also sent 6 planes to the spot where the 2 planes were downed. They dropped wreaths and flowers on the crash spot in international waters north of Havana. Washington State will share in a drug company's agreement to pay $325 million. Attorney General Janet Reno announced the results of a 4-year investigation into fraud by SmithKline Beecham Medical Labs. A Justice Department task force has been looking into allegations medical laboratories have been fraudulently billing Medicare accounts for unrequested tests, as well as billing for tests not done at all. Reno called it one of the 2 largest settlements of its kind.
Government attorneys, investigators, and auditors were seeing a pattern of abuse throughout the independent clinical laboratory industry. Companies were billing Medicare for millions of unnecessary tests. Tests were being conducted that physicians did not ask for, and physicians were falsely told that certain tests they ordered would be performed for free.
Washington State will get $1.59 million as a result of the settlement. Astronaut Jerry Leininger now has a new role, fireman in space. On Sunday, a fire broke out aboard the Russian space station Mir, but was quickly brought under control. Russian Space Agency officials say the fire ignited because oxygen-generating equipment malfunctioned. The fire occurred when the crew was trying to replace a part in the system. Smoke from the fire forced the Leininger and the cosmonauts to use breathing masks, but no one was injured. The blaze did not interrupt the space station electrical supply or cause any serious damage. Stu's here now with a check on our weather. It was another beautiful day today.
You know, and I hate to say this, but this was sort of like a little bit
the calm before the storm?
Sneak preview. We'll have to wait for the general release of the spring feature to be coming up later on. But this was a good sneak preview. Now it's going to be leaving us. We'll see a return to more typical type of weather we can expect for the latter part of February, and that's going to be more clouds, running a risk of some shower activity, and high temperatures, instead of being up there in the 50s, going to be easing back down into the 40s for at least the last half of the week. Right now, under mostly clear skies, temperatures cooling off around the area with lots of radiational cooling. 33 degrees in Yakima, 35 in Ellensburg, 42 degrees over at Sunnyside. We'll see a few high, thin clouds later on tonight. They're starting to make their way on southward with the approach of a weak front that'll be moving across mainly British Columbia. At least the low pressure system with that front will be tracking southeasterly across British Columbia tomorrow. Cloudiness beginning to increase around the North Washington Cascades, generally through the Cascades themselves, as well as the northern sections of Washington, both east and west side of the mountains. 43 right now in Seattle with some high clouds. It's 38 up in the Cascades at Stampede Pass, and 32 degrees being reported at Spokane. Well, this nice weather brought about by a warm high pressure system over the Pacific Northwest. That high now beginning to weaken and move on to the east, and as it does so, we're going to eventually see the storm track, which has been forced by the high way up into British Columbia, to begin sagging on southward across the area. The first in a series of disturbance will be this weak low, moving on across the area tomorrow, increasing the cloudiness. It'll be followed by another one, and eventually the storm track will be settling down over northern California, which means we'll be over on the cool side of it and on the cloudy side of that track through the weekend. Here's our forecast now. Tonight clear, a low temperature of 26 degrees. In the morning, some patchy fog, 30 degrees. Some sun breaks, mostly sunny at noon with 46, but not for too long. Increasing clouds in the afternoon with a high of 51. Tomorrow night, chance for a little bit of rain or snow in the area, about a 30% chance with a low temperature of 29. Rest of the week still going to be a little unsettled, mostly cloudy at times with a chance of rain or snow, and highs cooling into the 40s.
All right, thanks, Stu. What should be done with the renovated but vacant building owned by the Yakima Indian Nation? Tribal members have varying views on the subject. We'll have the story after this.
Legends of the Final Four, the new One Easy Price from GTE Long Distance. What do they have in common? You. Because if you call 1-888-NCAA-GTE and sign up for GTE's 14 cents a minute rate on long distance calls anywhere, anytime, you could win a chance to play with them in the GTE Ultimate Pickup Game at this year's Final Four. But you gotta call the number to get GTE Long Distance and the game.
Before you go exploring in the Great Northwest, you'll need a map, a compass, and a Ford Explorer, built to handle the toughest terrain. Its available V8 delivers plenty of raw power. Its improved suspension tames those rough trails. And the dual airbags help protect you from the unexpected.
Hey, Columbus, how about a hand? It's also got the most interior room in its class.
Plus, Ford Explorer can now save you up to $1,400 at your Northwest Ford dealer.
Home of 5 of the top 10 sellers in America again.
It was a very grim story for us. Our plant was closing. Going to lose 88 jobs. The local manager of the Walmart store gave me an appointment. He says, those Walmart commercials, is that for real? The Made in USA program gets a commitment. And I did everything I could to make it happen. And Jim called me up. He says, I got a truck rolling in my back door. We got orders going out. Well, I'm glad we helped them out. Thanks to Walmart, we've saved 88 American jobs.
Athletes from around the world breaking concrete, bending steel rods behind their necks, performing feats of strength and power. Team Extreme takes it to the edge. Team Extreme, one night only, and admission is free, so get there early. Team Extreme.
Vote tomorrow on what to do with a building that has sat renovated for months. The building was originally going to be used as a casino, but plans changed and now a casino will be built across from tribal headquarters. One Yakima tribal member we spoke with today says one option would be to use the facility as a bingo hall, and that's something she's opposed to.
Saving Sandy has a poor location for two reasons. One is located 20 miles from the main population base. Two, the smell from Washington Beach.
But Nina Elwell says the building has been sitting too long and she'll be happy if any action is taken.
And people are calling from other reservations, asking us when our casino's going to be open and things like this, and we don't even know any more than the next person.
A tribal vote is expected tomorrow at the Yakima Indian Nation's General Council meeting. Yakima County is looking at possible mid-year budget cuts if voters reject a sales tax increase next month. County commissioners remain reluctant to talk about the situation, but County Auditor Doug Cochran is not. He says unless there is additional revenue, commissioners won't have enough money next year to balance the budget at current spending levels. The county has nearly depleted its cash reserves, which have been used in recent years to make up for budget shortfalls.
The board's going to explore every option, but they certainly want to think about it as far in advance as they can. And we never want to create fear ripples through the building, but we want to be realistic, and we don't want to wait until it's too late and things are too severe.
Commissioners did receive some good news during today's monthly financial revenue meeting. The county will receive nearly $99,000 this year in state sales tax equalization funding. Last year, Yakima County received no equalization funding. Commissioners plan to meet with department heads tomorrow to discuss the budget situation. New floodplain maps for the Yakima River between Sela and Union Gap were the subject of a public meeting today at the county courthouse. The maps reflect revisions made 2 years ago in which Terrace Heights was removed from the floodplain. In addition, the maps revise the flood boundaries for the cities of Yakima, Sela, and Union Gap. They also note that the flood of 1996 was a 100-year event.
Everything upstream of Moxie Road was contained between the levees all the way up to the Natchez River. But we could see the watermarks, and we got those watermarks. And when we plotted those watermarks, they pretty much matched the 100-year flood within less than a half a foot.
Federal officials are also urged to study other areas of the county for flood dangers.
So we have got a shopping list right now of studies that need to be redone in our 4 states that we serve that can carry us out for the next 20, 25 years. But we don't have the money to do that.
The floodplain maps are used to determine if a property needs flood insurance and the cost of coverage. The Rite Aid Corporation has sold its Bi-Mart discount stores to top executives of the chain and a Portland-based equity firm. The sale was closed over the weekend. No purchase price was given. Marty Smith, Bi-Mart CEO, who led the acquisition effort, says Bi-Mart is back to being an Oregon-based company. The Bi-Mart Membership Discount Corporation was founded in Yakima in 1955 and later moved its corporate offices to Eugene. 2 of the chain's 46 stores are located in Yakima. Rite Aid, the country's largest operator of drugstores, took over ownership of Bi-Mart when it bought the thrifty Payless Corporation last year for $2.3 billion. Bi-Mart advertising manager Don Lieber says all Bi-Mart stores will remain open and the sale will have no effect on the company's 2,500 employees. Alan joins us now with sports, and you know, I think the Blazers are the team of the future, but tonight they were playing the team of the present.
Making excuses ahead of time?
for Blazers running with the Bulls tonight. We have highlights from the Windy City. We also have championship wrestling. We have the latest prep basketball poll and this year's Yakima Reds after the scores and a timeout.
Here, a home office means the freedom to be closer to the things you love. The very same things that can take you away from the phone. But because it's so important to see who called and when, if you order caller ID now, you'll get a free caller ID box, which logs the name, number, date, and time of incoming calls. Call now and the caller ID installation, as well as the caller ID box, is free. Life's better here. US West.
How do you make a Best Buy better? Start with 88 by Oldsmobile. Well equipped at $22,825. Selected one of the best values of the year. 88 is the only full-size car to earn a Consumer's Digest Best Buy Award and unprecedented.
The Sonics back in first place in the Pacific Division after winning their first of 5 straight on the road Sunday. The Blazers, not quite as fortunate away from the Rose Garden tonight. Portland in the path of some raging Bulls. Michael Jordan knocked down 30 of his 37 in the first half, and it was already time to turn out the lights. Gary Trent getting the follow-up jam for the Blazers, but this one was all Bulls. Blazers no longer with Ruben Nembhard. He's back in Yakima. Ruben working out with the Sun Kings today after short NBA stays in Utah and Portland. Nembhard grateful for the chance to show his stuff in the big show, but I asked him honestly if he's a little disappointed to be back down in the CBA.
Yeah, no, you know what I'm saying? It was, you know, my first year in the league and stuff like that. So, I'm grateful for that, and I got a taste of it and everything. And, then again, it was a good experience, and I'm back down here, unfortunately. But, I got to keep my head up and just keep working hard, and, eventually I'll get back up there.
Along with Ruben, the Sun Kings now also have former Arizona State star Mario Bennett in uniform. To make room, Yakima has released Kenny Harris and made Marvin Alexander an assistant coach. The Eastern Region's coach and player of the year. They must be doing something right at YVC. Yes, the one and only Dean Nicholson, after leading his Indians to a 22-4 season, named the Eastern Region Coach of the Year. League MVP Quentin Hall. First team honors to David Britt, second team to Joe Deutsch and Neil Robertson, and honorable mentions for Brandon Rinta and Kelly Herron. The final state high school double and AAA hoop polls are out tonight. For the boys on the 2A side, same as last week, Prosser and West Valley 5th and 6th, but on the girls side, the Stangs slipped from the top spot to number 4, and Ellensburg is number 5. One more tip of the cap to all of the great athletes from the Valley who competed at state championships this weekend. Davis senior Matt Hotchko winning the AAA 50-yard freestyle swimming crown, and under the dome in Tacoma. KIMA there for the state high school wrestling championships. At 122 pounds in red, Andy Solomon became Prosser's first state champ in 20 years. Capping off a perfect season and capturing the backflip title as well. I love that. In the 129-pound AA double overtime final, Wapato Shane Jaime with a takedown to take the title. Also capturing state crowns this weekend, Goldendale's Omar Flores and Drew Deming from White Swan. Racing fans, we haven't forgotten you. Another spectacular show put on by Jeff Gordon this weekend at Rockingham, North Carolina, in the Goodwrench 400. Gordon had all the right tools to do it again, winning his second straight race. 43 laps from the finish, Gordon took over the lead from Dale Jarrett and held it until the checkered flag. Gordon has won 5 of the last 9 NASCAR Winston Cup events. Yakima Reds are back for their 3rd season of soccer in the Valley. We all hope the Reds will be even better this year. They will definitely be bigger. The team planning to add more names to the roster. The Yakima squad held an open player tryout this weekend looking for possible diamonds in the rough for the Reds.
Believe me, if all these, right now we have 23 players. If they're better than what I have, well, we'll just make a brand new team, so. We probably carry about 26.
Oh, is that really?
Yes. And we're hoping this year maybe to have a B squad. So if that happens, then we'll have another 18 to 20 more players. Okay. I have a good feeling about a few players already. Yeah.
Have you seen me do my over-the-head bicycle?
Not yet. Would you mind doing it for me?
Yeah,
you
right.
have a job here. You don't need to go trying out for the Reds.
They're getting ready to take off for Mexico for a couple exhibition matches. The regular season starts in about a month.
All right, thanks, Alan. More news is on the way when we come back. The first in a series of reports called Solo Parenting. Stay with us. About where she'll go to college and concentrating on grades and extracurricular activities. Now imagine a teenager that same age, but taking care of her small child instead. In Washington state alone last year, more than 800 teenage girls delivered babies. Tonight we begin our special report on how life has changed for these girls and what they might have done differently. Here's Margie Lynch.
Family has been so much
Shalonda Bell had her first child, Carrington, when she was just 15.
I don't know if I was ever ready, but, I love children, and so, that's the life that I've chosen. But if I would have, thought about it before, I would have waited till I was married.
Shalonda, seen playing here with her second child, daughter Ajanique, says she'll talk with her children about sex and the risks of getting pregnant at an early age, something she feels many parents wait too long for. She says it's hard for people who don't know her to accept her situation.
The people that don't know are like, why didn't you wait? Why did you have a baby at such a young age? And I explain that to people, and they're like, I'd kill my daughter. But you just got to be realistic. Your daughter can get pregnant tomorrow, and you least expected it from her.
Shalonda's mom, Barbara, had Shalonda before marriage. She doesn't blame herself, though, for Shalonda having kids so young.
Never blamed myself. I just know peer pressure for young teenagers. I understand that. I wish that she'd have made a different choice at that time, but I have no regrets now.
And Shalonda says it's been support from her family that's helped her survive.
I've been very lucky to have a supportive mom, but there's a lot of people who don't. And I think that's why a lot of kids are getting neglected, because they blame the children for what's happened to them, and they're doing it all by themselves, and they feel like there's nowhere to go.
She says many young girls have the wrong idea about being moms.
It's fun, yeah, to sit there and play with them, but when they wake up in the middle of the night with ear infections or got a tummy ache and they're keeping you up all night colicking, it's not as fun as you think it is. When you have to spend your money that you can spend on your clothes and you have to put into your children, you realize it's not an easy job to do.
Shalonda takes parenting classes like this solo parenting class at Memorial to get tips on how to be a better mom. Meanwhile, the 22-year-old looks towards the future, wondering about the possibilities of marriage with two young children.
Is marriage something you think about for the future?
Kind of, but it's way down in the future.
And while there have been many challenges for this young woman to work through, Shalonda never blames her children and says she couldn't possibly love them more.
I mean, we're very close, we do a lot of fun things together, and I couldn't even imagine my life without them now, They're my life.
Margie Lynch reporting for Newsbeat.
Ever wonder what it's like to win the lottery? When we come back, hear firsthand what it feels like from a Yakima couple that just did. Stay with us.
We've saved a lot of money shopping here.
I saved over $1,000 buying here at United Furniture Warehouse.
I saved over $4,000.
United Furniture Warehouse.
Over 100 locations, there's one near you.
I think we can all do something to help the environment.
Sterling was working on becoming an Eagle Scout, and at this point in scouting, you have to have a project.
I guess that's why I decided to build this bridge on our school's nature trail.
To raise funds for his project, he presented his idea to the folks at Walmart.
Walmart was a very big help. When I look at the bridge, I get a good feeling that I've done something for the community.
I wasn't surprised that Walmart helped on the project because they are so community-oriented.
Not a bad job for an amateur.
I lost my girlfriend because of a Honda Civic. I used to arrive at Mildred's at 7 sharp. Every Monday we had spaghetti. Every Wednesday, fish. Every Friday, chicken. One week, I was late for meatloaf. So I bought a more reliable car, a Honda Civic. It was curiously fun, though. I started taking the long way to Mildred's house.
It's over.
Sometimes I still miss her. Tuna casserole. Lease a Civic LX for only $169 a month for 24 months and a $750 down payment.
I really shopped around, and I found the lowest price here at United.
We're sure we saved over $600.
The service was great, and you can't beat the price.
United Furniture Warehouse.
Over 100 locations, there's one near you.
Planning an automatic sprinkler system is easy with the help of the sprinkler people at Montgomery Irrigation. An automated rainproof watering system saves water and improves your lawn's looks. Now is the ideal time to plan for spring. Bring in a sketch of your lawn to scale, and Donna Lockhart and John Mayo will design your system at no charge. With your system, you'll receive a full color map of your yard. Enjoy the ease of an automated sprinkler system from Rainbird. Call Montgomery Irrigation today.
Irrigation, we get the water to you.
Stu's back with another look at the weather. Some stormy skies on the way.
Well, it's changing over back to more typical late February weather. Expected to be a little cloudier, a little bit cooler, and maybe a chance for a little bit of rain or snow at times. The latter half of this week. Clear tonight, though, and chilly. Low temperature by morning around 26. In the morning, some patchy fog at 8:30 degrees. At noon, 46, mostly sunny. Then increasing clouds in the afternoon with a high temperature of 51. Tomorrow night, cloudy, a chance of a little rain or snow developing with a low temperature of 29 degrees. Some high clouds around tonight. Expect them later. Currently clear and 33, or winds westerly at 8 with a falling barometer. The high temperature today, 53, 3 above normal. Low this morning down to 25, and around the area now, it's in the 30s, right close to freezing.
All right, thanks, Stu. A Natchez couple is rolling in the dough after winning $900,000 in the state lottery's Quinto game. Carrie and George Rebuck say they've been playing the game on a regular basis since it began 4 years ago. Like many others who play the lottery, they've always dreamt of this day. And now that it's actually happening, they're still in shock.
Can you tell us the circumstance, where you were when you found out the...
In the pit stop in Natchez. She ran it through the machine and told me I won.
You took off?
I took off, yeah. An instant crowd of people started circling around, and it's just, the heart was going a mile a minute. Get out of here, go. Go home, tell the wife.
The Rebucks say they've quit their jobs and are looking to do some traveling, but they're dreading the inevitable phone calls from salespeople wanting some of the money. The two will receive $650,000 after taxes. Not too shabby. Congratulations to the Rebucks.
And all those relatives they never knew.
Exactly. And maybe a friendly newscaster, I don't know. That's all for us tonight. Have a good night. Thanks for joining us.
Good night.
Imagine a combination of sport utility and versatility.
You'll find it during Mercury Family Value Days with Mercury Villager and Mercury Mountaineer. Mountaineer starts at just $27,995. With V8 power, available all-wheel drive, and plenty of towing capacity, it's the family vehicle for all seasons. For $229 a month, Villager gives you V6 power and the features every family values. Even Keep the Kids Apart captain's chairs.
Come see how your Mercury dealer wrote the book on value.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury now.
This is no ordinary machine. It's a Viking. One touch, and it does extraordinary things. Better, quieter, faster, easier. Viking, the best-built sewing machine in the world. If you can think it, Viking can sew it. Look for the name Viking and the Viking dealer nearest you in the Yellow Pages.
When you're in the market for a truck, go to a truck dealership. In Yakima, that means the Valley Ford Nissan Truck Ranch, where we sell more trucks than anyone else in Central Washington for a lot of very good reasons. Here's just a few. So when you're looking for a truck, why shop anywhere else? The Valley Ford Nissan Truck Ranch, Yakima's #1 truck dealership.
Countdown to the Grammys continues as Tina Turner appears on David Letterman.